We're going to honor Mohammed. Mohammed has been with the company for 30 years. Although we want to honor everybody's anniversary that has a milestone this year, we are going to do the other anniversaries at our Christmas celebration and just showcase Mohammed today. So I'm going to start by telling you a couple of stories, but first of all, Mohammed started with us on November 25th, 1994. So what I'd like you to do is, everybody raise their hand if they were born 1994 or later. Give you some perspective. Okay, so that gives you a little perspective. You were just being born when Mohammed started working here. Okay? So I've known Mohammed for 26 years. I came to work with him when he was at the manufacturing company. And at that point, there was 3 technicians and 1 manager. This was Mohammed's second job after coming to Canada, and he came to find this job through a government program that was helping to do some training on technologies and whatnot. So he originally came to work it was called Christie Lights Manufacturing, which then transposed into Spectrum Manufacturing, and at that time they were making cable. So as the technology changed and then they got some engineers in, we started to make color changers. And if anybody does not know what a color changer is, this is what ChromaQ originated doing. This was what put us on the map. Okay, so Mohammed was around when that was the first product that was ever developed. So recently, I sat down with Mo and we just reminisced a little bit about some of the things that he had to do during his early part of his career with the manufacturing company. And one that comes to mind is they had a really huge deadline to get this cable done for an installation in Hamilton, very much behind the gun. And the owner of the company, which was Huntley Christie, was hammering at them, get this done, get it done, we can't miss the deadline. So then one of the technicians came up with a really great idea that they would take the 5-ton truck, fill it with the cable, and Mohammed and them would get in and they would continue to build the cable as they drove to Hamilton.
Wow.
So they arrived, they were able to deliver on time, so I got to say that's dedication and getting in to make sure that they met that deadline. Another story I want to share with you that comes to mind was they had a large scroller install that they had to get finished. And it was about 6 o'clock, time for Mohammed to go home. Huntley comes and says, do you guys think you could work on this for a couple of hours? Oh yeah, we can do it. And they're arguing over the finished product. It's not done yet, and it comes back to, could you work a couple more hours? Well, yeah, but we're going to have to phone home at some point, and this is before cell phones, by the way. So Huntley says, no problem, I'll call your wife. I'll get it all clear. So Mohammed continues to work. Before you know it, it's midnight, and Huntley's showing up again, and they're saying, well, when are we going to get to leave? Well, we're just going to keep going a little bit longer. Long story short, the next shift shows up. It's 7:30 in the morning. Mohammed finally gets to go home to a wife that's going, who was this man that called me and where have you been? So Huntley had to write Mohammed a note of apology for keeping him so late. So all I can say is we have to be very thankful that Mohammed still works here after 30 years, because we could have lost him in the first year based upon some of the work deadlines that he was going to have to keep. The last story I'm going to tell you, and this one is one of my favorites, is we were building the scrollers for AC Lighting, by the way, in High Wycombe, which was a client at the time, not the owner. And there's 600 scrollers sent over. But they had the wrong, was it the power supply? The addressing card was incorrect. So at the time, they decided to fly over Mohammed and the manager to address replacing these cards. But when they approached Mohammed, they asked him, could you go to London? He went, yeah, I'll talk to my wife. So he went home and he talked to his wife and he told her, I'll probably be home late, or maybe not at all overnight because he's got to go to London, Ontario. That's how he thought. Until he showed up for work and they said, "Do you have your passport?" And he went, "To go to London, Ontario, I need a passport?" "No, you're going to London, England." So again, we have to get Huntley to write a letter to his wife. The letter, which we wish we had, said he's not on his way to holiday to see the Spice Girls. We need him in London for 2 weeks to do some work. So off he went to London to work on these scrollers. And that was one of the biggest sales that they had, right? Yeah, in the beginning of it. So just in finishing, I have a letter here from Huntley Christie, the last letter for Muhammad.
Wow.
So it says, "Congratulations, Muhammad, on reaching the 30th year with Spectrum. There are only a selected few staff that, my eyes are bad. Yes, make it this long in our industry, and you have achieved a milestone that I have great admiration for. I fondly remember the days where you, Andrew Doman, and I argued over how to build a color charger. I love how you never shied away from sharing your opinions, while at the same time caring deeply for the quality and the performance of the work. Your workmanship, commitment, and dedication is something I have a great respect for. Enjoy the 30th anniversary, and I wish you well, Huntley Christie."
Wow.
Okay, so we would like to present Muhammad with a little appreciation from the company, and then we'll serve some cake, and everybody can come up and shake his hand and yeah.
Woo!